All right. Episode number 29. That is 29 for all of you out there. We are no longer rookies in the game, so Metal Block, the Metal Block, welcome back again. We're so happy to have you. We are once again continuing our talk of metal, and we're just going to keep it coming week after week after week, or every other week after every other week. As always, my two buddies here, we got Brutal Brando.
What's up, blockheads?
And Scary Greg.
What's up? What's up? Sorry.
Man, happy to have you guys. Happy to hang and talk about some music again. Everybody out there, don't forget, check out the social medias. We're on all of them at this point. Also, send us an email if you want to talk. metalblocktalks@gmail.com. Comment on something. Let us know what you think. See you later, Brando.
And just getting something to share with our loyal blockheads.
What do you have there?
So, we got our cool new crap to give out, cards to give out at shows. Has our Linktree QR code. Go ahead and scan it, folks. Takes you to all of our social media and podcast access links and pages. So
that's exciting.
Get it up.
That is very exciting. So, whenever you're at a show, sometimes it's hard to have long, detailed conversations with people because, right, there's music playing and everybody's there to just really check out the show. We're not there as much to chit chat, maybe a little bit in between. We're having fun, having a good time, but we're there to see the show. And so, just to be able to hand that out to somebody too is pretty cool. So, looking forward to seeing some people at some upcoming shows. Hopefully, talking to you guys about some music, not just through the ears of the podcast world, but also in person together. So that's why we're doing it. And I guess we're going to get on with the show, though. Thanks, Brandon, for getting those cards going.
Hell yeah.
And we are going to talk about a couple of bands that have had some new albums that have come out. And one of them is an old name, but totally a new thing that they got going on here, and that's Vulvodynia. Vulvodynia came out with a new album, Entabeni, and I thought it was really, really good. I'll kind of just get started with a couple of things. It is different. It is different than the stuff I'm used to hearing them play, but there is no lack of talent whenever it comes to what these guys are still playing. Like, the guitar work on it impressed me so much. I was very impressed with everything that the guitarist was putting out, and there were riffs that they were playing that to me weren't even like metal riffs, but they found ways to make them metal riffs, and that's always really cool whenever a band does that. This to me was new. It was kind of fresh, I guess, in the sound that I was hearing. It was a little bit different, and I really didn't have anything bad to say about it at all. They had the track, I think it was Isn't I Wanna, and I really enjoyed that one. And I want to say that one had the guest vocalist from Signs of the
Signs of the Swarm.
Signs of the Swarm.
David Simonich.
And I loved that track. And then the Randlord. Oh my gosh. The Randlord had some really awesome riffs in it, guitar-wise. And I can't remember if that's the one that had the Dying Fetus sounding riff. Dun, 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 dun. I think it was. And I loved that one. I love the Randlord. Probably my favorite track on the entire album. The Randlord.
That one stood out to me every time I listened to it also.
Did it? Yeah. So, well, hey, that's, a big part of what I've got to talk about was that right there. Was I really liked the freshness of it, giving me a whole new thing to listen to, something I wasn't expecting. And the album kind of changed throughout. There wasn't just one sound that they were putting out over and over and over again, song after song. Like, there was serious variety going on here. And there was even some vocal layering that reminded me of Cattle Decap. Some of the Cattle Decap cleans, he has that effect on his cleans. like they would layer some of their vocals and it would have that clean effect sound like in the background.
Travis gets
And
all mad when people call him cleans.
yeah, I don't know what other thing to
Yeah.
call them though. I mean,
Yeah, it's like it sounds
I
like
get
Gollum
it.
singing a song.
Yeah, I totally get it. They're not cleans because
It's like a
there's
harsh clean. It sounds like a clean.
yeah,
Yeah.
but compared to the other stuff, it's a clean. And so they did some layering, Vulvodynia did on this album, and I heard that a few times, and it immediately made me think of Cattle Decap. And
Yeah.
so also using some things that work still. I don't know, that right there is the big takeaway that I kind of got from it. Enjoyed it track after track. But what did you guys think? Greg, did you get a chance to listen to it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. I thought it was good. And so it had if I understand right, the guitarist filled the vocal position, right? Is
I
what's
believe
going on there
so.
because they had that big falling out with Duncan. It was like all over Facebook and dramatic and all that. But I will say it's I do respect the shit out of them for continuing on. And I see that they're touring their asses off and really working for it for sure. It was a good album. Like you said, the guitar work was fantastic. I do thought the Landlord is probably my favorite track off of it. And it was cool to see the vocalist of Peeling Flesh on the song that was actually the name of the album, Entabeni. Peeling Flesh was featured on that song, so that's pretty freaking cool to see some guys from Oklahoma, mixing it up with the South Africans. But yeah, I thought it was good. Like you said, a little bit different from their previous sound, but that's to be expected. But I think it's cool. I think it was a good album. I didn't listen to it a ton, but I'd probably say the Landlord and Into Benny were probably my favorite tracks off of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Entabeni was a good one too.
What'd you
I
think,
agree.
Brando?
Well, I liked it a lot. I got really into Praenuntius Infiniti when it came out, and I think
Yeah, I
what I'll
remember.
talk. Yeah, I'll talk on the vocals. They did their guitar player that I can't remember which guitar player it was. Like I don't know the names of all the guys, but the dude that stepped up to do vocals. I know he was getting a lot of praise live. I haven't caught them live yet. I plan to at the end of the month when they come here with Fallujah. Um, on the recording, dude, it sounds like the same vocals to me. Like they've got the same, I guess it's effects that they're
Yeah.
doing in the studio on the vocals. Sounds very similar to Praenuntius Infiniti,
I thought the same
and
thing.
Duncan Bentley, which is like I'm all for it. They're trying to keep that sound, and it's what they do. They also have I've never heard any other band do it, but that signature little chime on their chugs. Do you know what I'm talking about with their guitar? Like there's this little chime sound on it that's just like I don't know how to describe it. Chime is the only term I can use. It's not on every riff. It's not, but like I don't know what it is they're doing, but I like it. It's one of the things that my ear caught the first time I ever heard them, and I noticed that they are still using that.
Just on their
It's part of
guitars, just like on their
yeah,
regular riffs.
I think it's just the guitars, but it's not every riff. So I don't know if they're doing something like physically when they play, or if it's an effect they're using.
I'll listen for it.
But I like it because it sounds different to me. It caught my attention the first time I ever heard it. I was like, that's kind of cool. So this extra little sound at the end of the like in the guitar. Um, it's the guitar work is great, like you guys said. I actually love one of my favorite parts is the very beginning of the album. It starts off really slow with the sample of like the people screaming in the crowd or whatever, right? Like the whatever's going on, something spooky it sounds like, right? But then that riff that it opens up with, like it's not just a straight breakdown kind, but it's got a breakdown feel with some crazy technical guitar stuff in it. And like, I love it. I think it's great. Actually, like the first four tracks alone are super solid. Like, I kind of lose track and focus on keeping up with which song I'm listening to as I get a little bit further in because I'm usually driving. But I know like those ones, I tend to keep looking at the little screen in my truck to see what song it is. Um, It Follows, The Landlord, Deviltry. I thought it was a great album. I'm looking forward to seeing them live later this month. the song "Generational Segregation" too. The last one, that one always catches my attention too. So yeah, I do. Yeah, I thought it was a great follow up to Prenuntius.
Oh yeah, that was a great review. Good job.
And I thought it was a good way to really show the metal community
Mm.
that even with the changes that have gone on that they've had to deal with, and they haven't been easy changes for the band. I mean, that's the things that they probably dealt with. A lot of bands would be over,
Oh
and
yeah.
they really stepped up. And Brandon, like you said, they maintained consistency throughout this transition, and not only that, you said a great follow up, and that is another good point. It it complements the previous album even,
Mm-hmm.
by giving us a little bit more to continue the story, if that makes any sense at all. And really like what I'm seeing with the band and where they're headed, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the more stuff that they put out and listening to this album over and over again. It'll be one I replay quite a bit,
Yeah,
quite a bit.
I mean, I thought Prenuntius was sick. That was such a good album. I mean, my daughter loves it. Even the shadowy descent of Gaia, like we call it the headbanging song, and she'll yell "Descend into darkness" and start headbanging. Right, like uh, we get into it here in the crowd house. Um, but it feels like this album has some like the band. You can tell despite the consistency, you can tell they went through something, and like there, it feels like there's some growth in the songwriting, like they progressed, which I think is good. It's a good sign for them. I think there's good things still to come. I know they're becoming a pretty big name. I know they're pretty popular, and I think it's just gonna keep going for them.
And the vocalist is the Wandale Prusant is his name.
All right,
And I
cool.
hope I'm saying that right. It looks like it is the way it is pronounced. So that's really good, guys. Really good album. Glad we got a chance to check it out, and glad. Thank you, Vulvodynia, for putting out some more music for us to listen to. Good stuff. Keep it coming. So moving right along. Next, we are going to talk about a group that I had really never heard before, Black Hole Deity. Black Hole Deity, they are a band from the United States. I believe they're from Alabama, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's what I saw on their Spotify.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
from
Birmingham,
Birmingham.
Alabama. Yep, it says there
Wow.
science fiction supernatural
Yeah,
themed
themed
death
death metal.
metal. Yep,
Yeah.
they're
And
on
am I reading this
Everlasting
correctly?
Speed Records. Would
That's what
do
I was
what?
gonna say. Aren't they on that with Tito?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yep. Tito Escarabazante, or however you say his name. Yep. I actually saw a post whenever I looked him up on Facebook. I was like, "Damn, there he is. There's Tito." He was sharing the Black Hole Deity page. So, Tito, if
Was
you
he?
ever
I
want to
didn't.
listen to the podcast,
I hadn't. I hadn't caught him sharing it. I
you
picked
what?
this up off of the weekly injection from Metal Injection. I just saw it listed
Yeah, I
down at the
just saw it. I
bottom with
can't
the
remember.
genre, and I was like, I'll just go through checking stuff out, and this one jumped out to me. So
I think that they might have shared his post, maybe, or something on their page. I think it was something like that, or maybe I saw him like when you look it up, show what people post in groups.
uh
I think it was maybe one of those. But yeah, it's cool.
heck
Did
yeah.
you
Well,
guys
what
get a
did you think?
chance to listen to it?
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was good. It was good tech death for sure. Guitars were good. Fast, good. I knew the drums were sick, and then once I looked it up, I mean, I looked up and it was Mike Heller, who is an absolute badass. He was in Fear Factory and Malignancy, and he's an absolute beast on the drums. So once I, saw the pictures that they have on their social media of him, it made total sense. But yeah, he's an absolute kick-ass drummer. So that kind of made it honestly a lot cooler for me. Whenever I found out that Mike Heller did the drums on it was in the band, so that's super sick. I enjoyed it. Um, yeah, I thought it was sick. What'd y'all think?
Well,
Zoomy?
I enjoyed it quite a bit. Yes, I what I liked about this album, and I think this is their very first album. They haven't been around for too terribly long. Looks like right before the pandemic. It's
Yeah,
like
just
2019,
looks like
and
one
then
EP, and then yeah, go
uh
ahead.
huh,
Sorry.
yeah, no, no, I was just yeah. It looks like right before the pandemic, probably shut them down. They had a chance to just write some music and take some time, and they got this album out, and I think they nailed it. I think they did a really good job of putting out some decent death metal. And one thing is I didn't feel like they steered too far from the genre. Vulvodynia brings you a whole bunch of new stuff, you know, a whole bunch of different sounds. These guys straight up some, you know, good technical death metal, and you know, we've talked about in the past that there's some tech death that gets kind of hard to listen to, or just that there's a lot involved and you have to listen to it over and over so that you can really understand everything that's going on in the music. But I didn't feel that way with this band, so it was very comprehensible for me. And that made it a lot easier for me to enjoy it, especially, you know, being able to listen to it a couple times through and getting familiar with it a little bit quicker. And the thing that struck me out is this song started out giving you what its identity was, or the album started out showing you what its identity was. And I feel like they didn't venture too far from that identity. Like they, it was true to itself. Does that make sense? You know, like it stuck with what it was trying to show. And I mean that through like the guitar styles, the solo styles, the drumming, but it never got repetitive to where I didn't want to listen to it. And so it had a good, strong identity. And that was one thing that impressed me about it. Really, more than anything, it stood out to me is I heard consistent music track after track after track. And I don't mean the same music, I just mean it was consistently good. It checked all the same boxes for me each song. And so I really like them. I'm looking forward to what they have to put out in the future. So, you know, really glad that we got a chance to listen to these guys and check them out. I like the Blast Pit song that it started out with.
Yeah, me
Like I
too.
said, I loved how it started out, and I actually loved how it ended right at the end as well. With oh, the name of that track is Demons Beneath, and
Mm-hmm.
so I like how it ended. And actually,
Sure.
the first track wasn't the intro track, right? The first track was this ex nihilo, and that track had, you know, it was just some cool little guitar stuff that they had going on, and maybe even a piano sound. And I do know that during one of their little interludes, oh, I think it was the hydrazine vapor, they had some like acoustic guitar sounding stuff in there. And so I guess the more I talk about it, there was a little bit more variation throughout the album, but I still feel like it had a really good identity and that all fit with it very well. So
Oh yeah.
that's kind of my take. I dug it. Good stuff. What about you, Brando?
I liked it, man. I've been listening to it. I don't know since it came out. I've been kind of every other day. I at least turn it on. I think it starts off strong with that second track, but the first song, you know, Blast Pit, like you said, it goes right into Crucible Night, which is a pretty kick-ass song too. And then I noticed the other one that I kind of start at least paying attention to song names again. Like for some reason, it pulls me out of whatever daze or distracted mode I'm in. Is Human Fillet. That one seems to grab me every time and pull me back to reality and like, oh yeah, I'm listening to this cool band, you know. Um, and Demons Beneath, I think, is one of my favorite, and mostly because that intro to it, it's got that weird, creepy carnival little jig or ditty at the beginning that kind of makes me smile. Like I just kind of chuckle at it, you know. But then it goes into this like really kick-ass song. And so basically, the album starts with a really great song and ends with a really great song, kind of bringing you some complete closure there. So with good songs in between, there's not a bad one on here. I enjoy the whole album front to back. So, I hope they tour. I don't know if there's any plans for that. I'm not really sure if this is like a actual like touring physically get together group or if they, studio stuff or what, but that'd be cool if they do tour. I would definitely go check it out because some pretty good tech death and even not even just all tech death. It's just a cool band. It's good. Everyone should check them out.
I saw they did have an EP come out February 5th, 2021 called what do we got here? What's the damn name of it? Lair of Xenolich is what their EP was called. Yeah, and so they had a couple singles and that, or maybe a single back, then that came out, and I think 2 singles I saw, and then the new album came out. But yeah, their full length was it July 5th was the release date.
Yeah, I'll need to check out that EP.
Yeah,
I do need to go
definitely.
backwards with them. I really only focused on, just the new album because it was all so fresh and new for me. But really, really good stuff. And
Yeah, buddy.
one thing good about them is we reached out and they said that we could put a song on the podcast. So
They did what?
I know. It's been a while since I was going to say it's been a while since we played a song. I guess we really just skipped one episode.
You mean a metal podcast is going to play metal? No.
What is this? A lot of good podcasts will let you show a few songs here and there, and that's something that we try to do whenever we can. We obviously want to get permission from the bands, the labels, anybody that would need to get permission from. But yeah, we want to share it just as well. And we know most of you can just go ahead and go stream it. But maybe if you're just listening right now, you can check out the song and you'll realize that that is something I want to get into, and you can dig a little deeper on your own. But because we talked about how strong the album kicked off with the Blast Pit song, so we figured that would be the one that we would play here. So without I guess saying too much more, here's the band Black Hole Deity from their album Profane Geometry, and we will be playing the song Blast Pit. Enjoy. So that was a great song. Thank you, Black Hole Deity, for letting us play and have a little taste of the music on the show. We appreciate that very much and hope that it just brings more people to checking you guys out and listening to more of your stuff. Keep it up. Keep it up. Thank you. Thank you. Now, that's really all the new music that we were going to talk about. But I do know that there are a couple of shows. One of the shows we've talked about before, but this is going to be the one that we are helping promote with Radiation Productions down in Houston. Brandon, why don't you talk about that one?
September 22nd, Scout Bar, Houston, Texas. It's going to be fun. Signs of the Swarm is the headlining band. The tour is, I think it's all of North America. So you can catch them in other towns. But if you're near Houston, suggest you come to this one. Come say hi to us. We're going to have a little table set up. You can get one of those cool trash cards that I made. You can go outside and throw it in the gutter or something, after you scan our QR code. We're going to have some t-shirts. So, come say what's up. Maybe give us a suggestion for the morning commute. Always looking for some new music to check out. So, yeah, it's going to be a good concert. It's going to be a good time. Scout Bar is a great venue if you've never been there. It's pretty awesome. So, hopefully we'll see you
I
all
haven't,
there.
but I will get to. And that is
right.
the plan.
That's right.
Now that Houston has power again.
Yeah. We are alive.
How many people still without power?
I think as of this morning, it was still like 200,000, but started with 2.5 million. So yeah,
It started with 2.5
and that was,
million. Wow.
and power went out last like Monday morning, like 4:30 in the morning. I got mine back on Saturday.
So yeah, you were like 5 days.
Almost 6. It was like
Wow, almost
about 5.5 days.
We'll
Good way to
round
spend
up.
my 40th birthday. Let me tell you.
Yeah, that's right. Happy 40th birthday to Brando.
Happy 40th birthday, Brando.
Yeah.
Brutal Brando turned the big 4-0 on the 11th of July. So he's a 7-11 baby. And he's now 40 years old, this baby. So welcome to the club. And glad to have you with us. Greg, you're next.
I'm next. December. It happens in December.
Okay. Well, we will be looking forward to that, by the way, in December.
Yeah.
In the meantime, we do have another show that we wanted to bring up. This is actually kind of cool, and this is the one that is playing in Tulsa. Greg, why don't you talk about that one?
Yeah, it's Vitriol, which I'm stoked for. That'll be super sick. And then I know Constant Peril is obviously local. Braxton and Reed, that'll be cool. Jordan are in that band. That'll be a fun to find some friends opening up the show for Vitriol. It's October 2nd, 2024 at the Vanguard, Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I'm hyped about that because we never get shows here, and I'm super hyped on that. And Reeking Mass is the other local band, it says on it. So it looks like it's just Vitriol. They must be doing a tour, a big tour, and doing like an off day is what I'd imagine that's probably that. But yeah, October 2nd, that'll be super, super sick. And I hope the sound is going to be better there, which I know it is better there than what I heard in Dallas with them. They just got robbed by this massive subwoofer. It was just like pounding their whole set. And it actually happened like the first 3 bands. The Zenith Passage as well down there when I went to Chaos Carnage. So hopefully there won't be a loud subwoofer pounding through. And yeah, we'll be rocking and rolling. So I'm hyped on that.
Yeah, finally a show. Finally a show getting to come to Tulsa.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's gonna be cool.
Been a long time. I'm gonna try to see if I can make my way up north and come hang with y'all.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I'd like to see Braxton and Reed anyway, man. Yeah. That'd be really cool to be there to support them whenever they're opening up for those guys.
Yeah, I haven't seen them play in a long time, so it would be cool.
I think the last time I saw them play anything, it was online maybe. They might have done a little thing and posted it online, but it's been a while. It has been a long time since that happened too. It's been years.
So for sure. Yeah,
be looking forward to that. Yeah. Thanks, Greg.
Heck yeah.
And then I say the only, but the thing that we want to talk about next is some of the upcoming interviews that we've got. We like to talk about the albums and the new music that's happening, but another thing we really like to do is we like to interview other musicians, other people that are like in the music, whether it's through playing and performing, or it's writing, or it's designing like artwork and that kind of stuff. We're all about talking to people who are actually in it and making it happen, because we like it. So without them we wouldn't have it. And well, we're excited. We have some exciting things coming up. We have an interview with Aaron Hetzko and Brandon. Why don't you talk about Aaron and some of the projects that he works on, and why that's going to be an awesome interview?
Yeah, so we're going to get a chance to have Aaron visit with us. He's a drummer for a local Houston band called the Zebellion Triangle. They just did an East Coast tour. Let's see, he's also drumming live right now for brutal death metal band Stabbing. He's also been doing tour drumming for Enterprise Earth. Gabe from Enterprise Earth's other project, Dead Icarus, I believe he's doing drum duties for them right now. And according to the internet, Aaron is also the live drummer for Fallujah currently. So he's in some pretty good bands. So it'd be cool to have him on, talk to him for a little bit about his experiences with these awesome groups and what he does. And then, that should be good. That should be coming up here in just a couple weeks. So keep your eyes peeled for some promotional stuff for that, and the link to the episode when it's ready.
Yeah, I first saw him on TikTok, and then I was just seeing him like he'd go live and play on TikTok and just do requests, and I just play also make just cool like Black Dahlia Murder covers and just other metal covers, and just always thought, damn, this guy's good. And one day I just saw him, like I can't remember how I saw him like on Games on Facebook, and I was like, holy shit, that's that guy from TikTok. He's playing live in the Enterprise Earth, and then since then he's just like, man, he's just like getting gig after gig after gig. He's really killing it.
Oh yeah.
So that would be a cool interview.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Sure. Yeah, and I noticed that Zebellion's been getting out of Houston. That's really cool.
Have they?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's good for them. I know a lot of times they just kind of stuck to the Houston area, and I mean they were always playing, but usually they were supporting these big acts as they were coming through Houston and stuff, or not just Houston, but Texas, just Texas. And now to see them get outside of the Lone Star State and head to, I think Brandon, you mentioned the East Coast, so good for them, man. Good metal music along the East Coast. Thank you, East Coast. Well,
H-E-B.
and the HEB. No, I doubt there's no HEBs up in the East Coast, probably Brando, but that's cool. That's cool.
Well, thanks to HEB.
A couple of weeks after that, right? We're gonna have another interview with Ancient Entities.
That's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, that's gonna be really exciting. So that one's gonna come up after the interview we have with Aaron, but gonna be really, really excited to talk to those guys and just get to hear what's going on.
Yeah, they put out an album this year, Echoes of Annihilation. Riffs, it's Riff City, man. It's so awesome. I love it so much. So I'm very excited that they've agreed to come join us and tell us a little bit about themselves and what they do. So that's going to be great.
Where are they from, Brandon?
They are from Milwaukee.
That's right, Milwaukee.
Yeah, Milwaukee.
Yes. Thank you, Wayne's World. Been a while since you've had a Zoomy quote, so you're welcome, everybody out there. That's a Wayne's World quote. And think that's about it that we have lined up for the interviews that are going to be coming up here real soon, at least in the upcoming month and whatnot. But we're going to get some more lined up. We're going to keep it coming. So, blockheads, we really, really want you to keep listening and keep letting us know what you want to hear. If you don't want to send us an email, that's cool. Reach out to Brandon on the Facebook page. On the page, he's checking it out all the time, and he's ready to listen. You'll see he posts stuff all the time asking you what you're listening to, what you're jamming while you're at the beach, or what you're doing on Saturdays. So, reply. Let us know. We've actually found some music that way. What, Greg?
That one dude was like, I hate the beach.
Oh, yeah. I was like, all right, man. So you're not a fan?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, nothing is good when the beach sucks or something like that. And I was like, oh, damn.
Too many fake people all in one place. I was like, well, you just described everywhere. So I don't know where you go.
That's funny. You summoned Holden Caulfield from Catcher in the Rye.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I don't know.
Pessimistic.
That while my fake ass was sitting at the beach listening to Stillbirth, so it's like, whatever, man.
Yeah. I almost got in there and was like, it's pretty nice, but I didn't want to be like, these guys are ganging up on me or something. Be like, I kind of like the beach, I listen to Rose and Nile and Tool, personally,
Yeah,
I was listening to Pantera. A lot of that was the crowd I was with. I mean, not to say I wouldn't be wanting to listen to Pantera, but I can actually get my wife to play Pantera for, about 10 Pantera songs I can get out of her before she's like, oh, I'm metaled out. But
hey, that's good. That's good.
When we're on the beach.
My wife is not doing 10 songs of Pantera. Hell no.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Well, I just have to act like I'm in a bad mood, I'm not having any fun. And she'll be like, you want to listen to some Pantera? I'm like, please.
There you go.
And then I hear all this angry music and remember the trend is dead. And so I'm happy again.
Yeah.
That's right. And at the beach with your sandblasted skin.
With my sandblasted skin.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, yeah. So I apparently like the beach too, listening to some metal, and I'm not gonna complain. Take me to the beach. Take me there. I've been trying to get back ever since I left.
Hey, I'd much rather be at the beach than what I'm doing right now. I can tell you that.
Yeah, painting your house, Greg.
Yeah. And my cat bullying me.
Oh man. Well, hey, thanks everybody. Thanks for listening. Greg's cat. We appreciate you joining the show. Greg's cat, Elaine, special guest today.
Yeah.
Elaine was with us throughout the episode, and we had fun. So we hope you guys had fun too. Episode 29 in the books. Thanks again for checking us out. Metal Block over and out.
Later.
Peace out, blockheads.